Question from a reader. How can I create the possibility to work with a life-changing mentor whom I can't afford to work with at present? Um, how can I create the possibility to work with somebody that I can't afford to work with? Well, the way that you're asking that question has me think that you're open to the possibility of it looking different. Maybe you could work with them in a way that doesn't cost you any money. What might that look like? Well, you could ask them, how else could I work with you if I can't work with you at this way with that money? Because I don't have that, right? And there may be ways. For example, there's people who can't afford or don't have the resourcefulness, the resources at the moment to invest in my one-to-one fee. But there's lots of ways that they can work with me that don't include that. We have group programs like Creator Circle and Being a Client Magnet are 8 weeks or 8 months long, that are much smaller fee. But if you're in that program, you get to come to my Q&A that happens multiple times a month. That's just for clients. Not all our clients come. And if you want to be that person that's at the front of the class, we can speak frequently. So it's like, how much are you willing to go get it? And how many opportunities might there be that you're not even aware of because you're just making an assumption about, well, if it's not that, then, there's no other option. Like, I don't just knock on a door, kick a door in. Be like, dude, what, like, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Another way for me in my business that I've created for people, I mean, there's, no matter if you have no money, there's 1,000 videos on the internet for free that I've created over the last 13, 14 years and shared with the world. That's a freaking university study. You could go and watch all of those things for free and not just watch them and be like, oh, I watched a YouTube video, but how do you conceptualize it in your mind? It's like, well, that's just a YouTube video. That's not the same as having somebody tell me when I've paid them 50 grand to tell me it. Well, that's an idea. You could start relating to everything you get, everywhere you get it, as the same that you would if you paid a lot of money for it. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to produce a lot more action. You're going to take more action as a result of consuming that idea. And then you're going to create more results from it as well. But between totally free, which is lots of that out there, and working with me one-to-one or working in one of our groups, I've taken years of the coaching that I've done with my clients and I've distilled it into a number of courses. And what is it? It's not like me teaching in a freaking marker board or something. It's literally me speaking with my eyes closed. It connected to what you're going through, the you of the future, and coaching you, speaking to you, being in dialogue with you, sharing an idea with you, asking you a question, pausing, inviting you to think about it, asking you to push pause, open your journal, do this. I'm actually taking you through a practice in a pre-recorded experience. And so that's another way that I provide experiences at different fee levels. And so whoever the person is that you'd like mentor with, meant to be mentored by, and they've got a fee for it, maybe there's other ways that you're not aware of. And maybe if instead of being attached to a particular way of working, you open to all the possibilities and you took ownership of how you are the one that's actually going to create most of the value, then you can take whatever you've got access to with your current resources and you can learn how to create more with that. Now, for me personally, when I've been in this situation, early on when I didn't even know how to make the money that I needed in order to pay this person, it's like, well, I got to learn how to make the money. So I got to learn how to create in this new business, moving from web media company that I had into this coaching business. I got to learn how to make money as a coach to be able to have the money to hire higher level coaches or borrow the money, which I've done, of course, as well. But if I wanted to use cash instead of debt, I'm happy with both, by the way. But if I wanted to use cash, then I have to learn how to make that cash. So how can I do that? And so what information can I get that's going to help me to do that? How can I action it, right? I think one of the things that happen, people get themselves into this catch-22, I call it the hiring a coach catch-22, is because they put too much of the eggs of their power in the basket of the relationship with that coach. And that's not good for two reasons. Number one, it keeps your power out and it keeps you not creating at a level that you could be otherwise. And number two, when you do finally hire that coach, you're going to have too much of the power is going to be over there, and it's going to take you a long time to get out of that idea, to kill the guru, so that you can actually find out the powers inside of you. And that's time that is unnecessarily wasted. So you want to not do that right from the beginning. You want to go into every relationship before you even think about hiring somebody. You want to know that you can do it without them, and one of the best ways that you can do it without them is to do it without them to a certain degree, to get to a certain level, without them in that highest one-to-one relationship. Like when I hired my coach, Rich, years ago, like, I wasn't going straight into his one-to-one private fee. I found different ways to access different stuff that he said. Oh, you're writing a book. Can you send me some chapters of that? I'm going to gobble that up. I'm going to use that. I'm going to turn that into action, you know? And then it was like, let me get into a group program and let me get closer to the source. And then I'll create some success with that. And then in other times, it's like, I want to work with that coach. I don't have the money, but I'm going to stretch and do things that I would be doing if I was already working with that coach. What would that coach ask me? And if they did, what would I say? And what kind of actions would I commit to taking if I were in that situation? I probably already know. So let me just do that now, be that person, create those results, and then have the money and then hire them. And I've done that a number of times as well. So it's both and. Get what you can get, where you're at, use that, metabolize that, act on that, and do what you would be doing if you were already there. And what you'll have is you'll have the money and you'll have the coaching relationship or the mentor relationship or whatever you're considering investing in much faster. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for reading. Thank you for your question. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.